Hi, my name is Whit Chaiyabhat. I'm the Director of Emergency Management and Business Continuity at Georgetown University. For me personally, it was about gaining new skill sets, not only to offer my clients, but to expand my career possibilities. And in any industry these days, a graduate degree is almost essentially a must. And I felt that it's something I needed to do based on where I was in my career, and Webster was a great opportunity to do that. Well, anyone of my age with a family, I think, can understand where I was looking for something that provided flexibility in the program offerings. With 3 small children, I also have an avid passion as a coach. I'm a college softball coach here at Georgetown on the side, and so I needed something that had flexibility and allowed me to manage my time the best that I could. And Webster offered that, not only with the option of distance education, but you had distance education and also fixed locations. So that was what really appealed to me about the program. It offered me both solutions, both options, and it was a great opportunity for me. I had a great experience with the Webster classes. Initially, as I mentioned, the value that Webster had in my mind was it wasn't just a program that was strictly distance education. That I feel like sort of limited my options. The fact that Webster offered distance education as one option, but also fixed locations. In my case, I attended the program at Bolling Air Force Base. My classroom experience was great, not only with the professors and the course material, but I had practitioners in every class. I had peers and other security professionals from various sectors and industries sitting next to me, working on projects with me. So I learned a great deal, not only from the professors, but from my classmates. Learning what DoD agencies are doing, learning what federal agencies are doing, learning what private sector is doing. There was a lot that we gained and shared and learned from each other as classmates. So that was really the value and the importance of the Webster program to me, is the information that was shared in the classroom environment was just as fruitful as what we learned from the professors. I think there's 3 key benefits for me personally with the program at Webster. The first being the fact that the curriculum is designed and built such that somebody could be pretty well versed and prepared to take the CPP exam upon completion of the program while gaining professional experience at the same time. That was key for me in preparing for the CPP. I think the second key point for me was I was a security specialist with the FBI when I started the program at Webster. Then I had the opportunity to go to Georgetown University in my new role, and so I had the lens of being an employee at the FBI and then being an employee at Georgetown. And what the Webster security program offered me was a better understanding of the various disciplines of security management. For example, the value of that for me and my new employer at Georgetown was that my first major project at Georgetown University actually had nothing to do with emergency management or business continuity. In fact, I ended up writing and authoring the university's access control policy, which is not in my job responsibilities, but Webster and the education and training that I received from Webster's program prepared me for that opportunity to succeed. So that would be the second piece, and I think the last piece is the value that's brought to the employer and the skills that I'm bringing to the employer. Another Georgetown example is that I initiated and led a few projects. One example is we did a full campus CEPTED assessment. Again, not within my job title or job responsibilities, but that was something that my employer was able to get from me because of my experiences in the Webster program. There's a course in behavioral issues as part of the Webster security program. And What's interesting for me is as I was taking that course, I took on additional responsibilities at the FBI as the program manager for the FBI's Protective Intelligence Threat Assessment Program, which worked with various entities throughout the FBI and the federal government and local law enforcement, international law enforcement, on annual threat assessments for the FBI director, the Attorney General, and other key high-level executives within the Department of Justice. The grounding that I had very early on at Webster regarding behavioral issues was a great foundation for me that I could take and expand upon and work with other organizations within the FBI to execute, another role and responsibility at a very high level in the FBI at a very young age. I was confident sitting at the table with people, FBI's supervisors, special agents, and other intelligence officers and law enforcement officers. I was confident sitting at the table as a 28, 29-year-old, 30-year-old and having conversations with them about our threat assessment and protective intelligence programs because of the foundation that Webster gave me just in that one course. Webster essentially was the seed, and the seed allowed me to understand where the industry was and how I needed to reach out to those components of the industry, and how ASIS was a key part of that, in not only my educational growth, but my professional growth and my ability to execute my professional duties, not only at the FBI, but now at Georgetown University. Education in general is the single most important thing any professional can do, quite frankly. The moment that you stop learning is the moment that the adversary is going to get that step ahead of you. It's the moment where you're going to get out of touch with technology or the evolvement of how the environment is changing and how you do business and how you advise the C-suite or your key institutional leaders, organizational leaders, members of your board of trustees. There's just board of directors. There's a lot that goes into this, and education for me has been the key in the advancement of my career. I've been blessed with a lot of great professional opportunities to date, but I think the education and the time, the sacrifice that's been made and spent towards long hours for constant education has been the key for me personally. And for me, it's not going to stop here. It isn't going to stop with the completion of the Webster's degree. It isn't going to stop with the continuing education that ASIS provides. I'm always seeking the next avenue for me to learn more, because the way I view the world and the way I view threats, I feel like the moment I stop learning is the moment that the adversary is going to get that step ahead. And that's why we're here as security professionals, to prepare our organizations for the possibility of those threats. Hands down, ASIS International is the foremost professional association for security industry and security professionals. When I made the transition into the security industry from being a traditional occupational safety and fire safety specialist, I was seeking organizations that would help guide my path. And ASIS has been the single most influential resource for me as a security professional, not only from the perspective of resources, guidelines, standards, and so forth, but also the networking that it offers, not only young professionals like myself, but peers throughout the industry, regardless of age, position, title, or stature in the industry. Attending the ASIS conference is this great opportunity for any security professional to share ideas, meet new people, network, learn what other organizations are doing, learn what other leading security executives are doing to create business value for the organizations that they lead the security function within. And then obviously the certification component for as is key to any security industry's success. It also, I think, helps stabilize the validity of security professionals throughout the world. To have a single entity like as is in their administration of the CPP program and other certification programs, PSP and so forth, it really helps to legitimize the security professional throughout the world. So the fact that as is the premier certifying body for security professionals is lastly the opportunity to give back. I think as security professionals and anybody that gets involved in any professional associations, it's not just about taking and taking away from what resources as is can provide to you. It's also about giving back. The fact that as is an organization that provides all these resources to us as professionals is outstanding. The fact that it offers the premier certification as a security professional is key. But the fact that they also have opportunities in place for security professionals to become involved in the process of standards development, to become members of councils, it is also key, because it essentially furthers the mission of the organization and strengthens the mission and the capabilities of as is International across the globe. In my case, I've been blessed with the chance to be a member of the Crisis Management and Business Continuity Council. I've been with the council for nearly 2 years, and it's a great group of professionals who are dedicated to their craft, dedicated to sharing information, dedicated to helping those who are new to the industry, perhaps even those who have been given the crisis management role as another duty is assigned, which happens in many cases across the world. There's one professor in particular who really stands out in my mind, who was part of the program at Bowling in Washington, D.C. that I attended, and it's Kevin Peterson. We stay in touch from time to time, even now, even though it's been almost 5 years now since I've graduated from the graduate program at Webster. But my experience with professors at Webster were great. I think the value and what I really liked about the program was that you weren't only getting somebody who had a PhD and studies the security industry, whether it's global security or corporate security, but we had professors who were practitioners, and not folks who used to be security directors, but people who were actually practicing in the industry now today.